Okay, let's start looking at how to make a platform game in GameMaker. This platform game is going to be a bit more complicated than Mushroom Princess or something that you've done before. It's going to have friction, acceleration, it's going to have wall jumping, and some other interaction. You're going to be able to also chuck knives. So I've called it Knife Life, and we're going to start by creating some sprites. So actually importing some sprites. Now, once again, when you do your actual project, you will have a lot of time to find resources for this. In fact, I'll assign that as a homework task. But for now, I'm going to use these, and I'd like you to use these as well. So you go here and download the 16 by 16 tile set and save image as. Save it somewhere you can find it easily, probably your desktop or a folder on your desktop. And also download these as well. So the name for these is Duotone Tile Set. Duotone Tile Set. If you search for that on opengameart.org, you'll find them. Get the 16 by 16 minimal objects and the background, which is this, and then on this one you want to get the simple graphics 16 by 16. So with those, I'm going to import those. We'll start by importing the backgrounds first. So we create background, load a background, and looked in the wrong place. I've put mine into here, background 3. Okay, so that's going to be my background, and I'm actually going to call it BG wall, and I'll click OK. Then I'm also going to create another background and call it BG tiles, and I'm going to load this background and grab the tile set for it. Now I'm going to use as tile set, and it should be set up already. Okay, so each one of these tiles is 16 by 16. There's no space between any of the tiles, and there's no separation between them, so it's all good to go. So there's my tile set, and it's all ready to go. But sprites are a little bit more complicated. So what I'm going to need is I'm going to need a sprite for the player when he's moving to the right. So I'm going to create a sprite and call it SPR running underscore right. In fact, I'm going to use this animation for both left and right running, so I'm just going to call it sprite running. And what I'm going to do is edit the sprite. I'm not going to load it. Loading it will just load that one image. I'm going to edit the sprite. And from here, I'm going to go File, Create from Strip. Now, this is going to be the strip that I use. And I've got to be smart here. I've got to think about the number of images. So along the top here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 running images. So I want 6. There are 6 images in that row. So I type 6 there. And each image is 16 by 16. Now there's no space between them. And it's a little bit hard to see with this black, with the checkered background, the blank background there. But it has drawn little boxes around each of these sprites here. I don't need to change any of the others for this tile set, and I click OK. And now I've got that there. I can show the preview. He's running. If I turn the speed down, you can see it's a running animation there. Okay, so I tick that. And I am going to use, I'm not going to use precise collision detection. I'm going to modify mask and just make sure it's set to full image. Okay, it's going to be easier when I'm working with this to set it to full image because we're going to have wall jumping and stuff. We don't want him to get stuck in the wall, so that's all good. So modify mask, full image. And then I click OK. All right, so that's my sprite for him running. And the next sprite we're going to do, oops, I will want to center that, by the way. Okay, so I'll center that. That way when it flips, because for the left animation, it's not going to suddenly teleport back 16 pixels. It's going to flip on that center axis. Now we need a sprite for him jumping. So I'm going to create sprite jumping and edit sprite once again, create from strip, that strip there. It's set up again. However, this time I want to get the third row down. Okay, that's the jumping animation. So the third row down. And I actually think I want to probably just use, let me have a look, because I've done this before. Yeah, I actually don't want to worry about the launching animation or anything like this. We're going to make it really simple. So we're actually just going to have one, and I want to use this one right here. Okay, so that is going to be, it is horizontal cell offset 1 and vertical cell offset 2. Where's that gone? 0, 0. So 1, and I think that's there, and then 2. It is putting a circle, a little mark around that one there. It's very hard to see on this here, but that means 1 across and 2 down. So that's what this here means, and that's given me that sprite. I probably should have used the 32 by 32, make it a bit easier to see now, but that's fine. So that's my jumping animation. I'll center that. Next one, create a sprite, SPR landing. Edit sprite, file, create from strip, same one. And this time I'm going to use this one here, one of these for the landing. So the horizontal offset, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's still going to be 2 down. So that's my landing one. Center that. I'll make sure that full image is on for that, and full image is on for that one as well. Okay, so I've got those different animations. Last one, I'm going to have an idle animation. So SPR idle, edit sprite, file, create from strip. That same one. This whole second row is the idle animation. So I'm going to go 6, 6, 0, and 1. So that's going to bring it to that second row. I get the idle animation. So he just kind of stands there looking backwards and forwards for a bit when he's not doing anything. Modify mask, full image, center that. Okay, so I've got these here. And these are all pretty good. They're going to allow me to move my character around. We're going to import a few more sprites from that sprite sheet. So SPR die, load sprite, and not load sprite, sorry. Edit sprite, file, create from strip. And the die animation is actually this one here. Okay, so we've got, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's this fifth, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so vertical offset 6. Done. Center that, modify. It doesn't really matter for that one. And click OK. So that's my die animation. You can see it previewing here. So it kind of disintegrates. And then we also want to have SPR explode. Create from strip. That's the one above it, so that's 5. And I might just rename that to enemy explode. And there's one more, SPR pop. Which is this one right here. So I want to get that to be, it looks like that was 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Okay, so there's a little pop animation here. Center that, modify mask, full image. Alright, so I've got a whole bunch of sprites here. There's a few other sprites that I will add later on, namely the knife and a little cursor that allows me to see where I'm going to throw that knife or where it's going to end up. Okay, so from here we can start, we do need one more thing, of course. We need an object that the player is going to be able to stand on. So I'm just going to create a new sprite and call it SPR block and edit that sprite. Create a new sprite, and that's going to be 16 by 16. And I'm just going to fill it with, I'm actually going to fill it with a really bright color, but at about half opacity. So what this means is when I place it in the room, I'll be able to see through it. So if I put tile sets down underneath, I can see what the tile set is. And this is going to be invisible anyway, so it doesn't matter what color it's going to be. I don't want to center this one. I want to make sure that's full image. And all right. Okay, so I've got a block here. So let's start making objects. Create an object, obj player. We can just leave it at no sprite for now because we're going to make changes to everything in there. And obj block, and that's going to be sprite block. It's going to be invisible. So when I put it, and then we're going to make a room. So this is going to be called test room again. And in here, I probably want to change the snap to 16 by 16 because that's what the size of everything's going to be. Okay, so there's that. You'll see when I hit play that that will be invisible. There won't be anything in there that I can actually see, but they are there. Okay, so that's fine. We'll use that room later on. So time to do the player. I might do that I'll do it in this video here. No, I'll do it in another video. So save your progress and then go on to the next video.